Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sailing with the Jameses. This week, we're launching our full-time home, an aluminium sailing catamaran, back into the ocean after a major refit. We're beyond excited to get her back in the water, raise the sails, and see what she can do. But first, we've got to wrap up this refit, check for any leaks in any of the compartments we've tampered with, and then it's splash time. Join us for an exciting episode you won't want to miss. And if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about our new propellers. Hi, we're the James family.
Are you sick of your day-to-day life? Ever thought about doing something different?
Well, we did just that.
We bought an unfinished aluminium catamaran and we're fixing her up as we sail around the world.
Come along for the journey and click subscribe.
Daddy? Mommy? Charlie? James.
Cheers.
Alright, good morning guys. It's bright and early, a couple of days before we get launched. The sun is just peeking up over the horizon. It's fairly dark outside, but it'll be light before we know it.
So these are the last couple of days of our major refit, but before we splash back into the water, we've got a list of stuff that needs to happen.
First thing that needs to happen is we need to clean up under the boat, ready for it to go on the trailer so we can get moved over to the ramp and start doing our other tasks.
We need to tie coat all the new aluminium.
We need to put the Cutlass bearings back in.
Then once the Cutlass bearings are back in, we need to put the shafts back in.
Once the shafts are back in, we can then put the rudders back in.
Once the rudders are on, we can put the new FLEXOFOLD props onto the shafts, which are in front of the rudders.
Once the FLEXOFOLD props are on, we've got this thing called PropOne. It's the type of antifoul that we're using, and we'll put that on our new propellers.
And then in the meantime, we need to run to the recycling.
With the money from that, we're going to go to the grocery store.
And then we also need to put 2 coats of Antifoul onto the hulls.
And once that's on, we've got to be aware of drying times and things like that. Then we're going to put our anodes on. And then there's probably going to be a few other jobs, folks, that'll pop up along the way. We've got a couple of days to go. We're pretty excited. Let's get to it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Alright guys, so this morning we're going to be cleaning out everything underneath the boat because today the trailer is coming underneath and we're going on the trailer. We're getting relaunched Sunday, but we're going to get lifted and sit on the trailer, and that'll make everything easier to paint.
Hey! You.
So right now the yard manager has just double checked our measurements for the trailer. There's nothing on this trailer. There's no soldiers, which are those square things that they stack high. They're gonna bring those over and they're gonna modify this trailer to fit underneath us. And they'll bring it underneath later today. So we are on our way to the recycling place. So we are taking all the aluminium that we cut off the boat and all the scrap pieces for the extensions to the recycling. We're going to see how much it weighs, and then this place pays per kilo of scrap aluminium. So everything's being recycled. And then also right next to me is not Sam. This is our friend Murray. Murray has come up for the week. He's helping us get the boat ready, and he's going to be with us for the launch of the boat. Murray's been an absolute legend this week. And then in the back here, we've got Charlie. Say hello. And with money in our pocket from recycling the scrap aluminium, we're off to the grocery store for an event that we'll share the details with you guys very shortly. After running errands and having a bite to eat, it's time for the boat to go on the trailer and be moved into prime position on the ramp. Happy Saturday morning, guys. So yesterday afternoon we moved to the ramp. So behind me is the water, in front of me is the boat.
This close, guys, this close.
We are Saturday morning, we launch tomorrow, Sunday. So yesterday afternoon, after we got all situated here, we did the tie coat.
This is the Antifoul sealer that went on late last night. So we are ready for the Antifoul to go on today. So that's all been sealed all the way through.
On the agenda today is to Antifoul, and we'll have a look at the Cutlass bearings. Cutlass bearings will go in.
So what we're going to do, guys, is the Cutlass bearings have a retainer screw on the side, but sometimes with the aluminium, for aluminium boats, you get one that has a composite on the outside, not a brass or a solid housing. So it can bind up on the shelf and spin. So you use some kind of glue to ensure that never happens. Now what we're going to do to make sure is that we've found this glue on board. It's general purpose Tarzan grip. It says it's water resistant, but we're going to put a bit on here, sample it, and just make sure we've got enough work time before it sets. And then we'll put our shafts in. And yeah.
My favorite thing that's happening today is right behind me. This is our new boom bag, and in the color of burgundy, so it'll match the new boot strap that's gone around the boat. But what's happening with the boom bag today is we're going to be painting our logo on it. We got quoted $1,500 to $2,000 for a company to print on it, so we're going to do it ourselves. We've got a 2-liter tub of low sheen acrylic paint. We got the UV exterior stuff. It was $59 for 2 liters, which is brilliant. Our friend that made the boom bag, he's given us the offcuts, and so we practice with that paint on the offcuts. So it will stick. It does look really nice on it, and that will be a big tie-in with the boat with all the color schemes and everything happening. So end of day Saturday, we have anti-fouled the hull. It's got one coat on it. We've got the Cutlass bearings in, we've got the shafts in, we've got the prop, half the props on, just slid on, and we've got the rudders in. So it's been a big day today. It's been really successful, really fun, and we've just ended a bit early today. We've taken a shower. We are going over to what they call the crab pot. It's the outdoor kitchen. It's where everyone hangs out. We're putting on a barbecue tonight. Some burgers, snags, some beers, just to say thank you. We've made so many friends, and tonight's our last night in the yard, so we're having a bit of a barbecue. It's been a lot of fun. We're looking forward to splashing tomorrow. Yeah, and I came to because we forgot butter for the bread. Let's go to the barbecue.
Remember that event I mentioned? Throughout this refit, we've made so many new friends. With the money from recycling the scrap alloy, we hosted a farewell barbecue to say thank you and goodbye to all our new and lifelong friends.
And good morning. Today is Sunday and we launched today in less than 10 hours. So last night after the barbecue, we prepped the rudders. Today, what we need to do in order to be relaunched, we've got another coat of anti-fouling to be done on the hulls. We need to anti-foul the rudders. Right now, Sam is prepping the new props, our new FLEXOFOLD props, to be PropOne, so the anti-fouling onto the props. We've got our boom bag, that's all painted. 514 is high tide, and then we'll be rolling down this ramp and straight into the water.
So these are our new FLEXOFOLD propeller bosses, and basically they slid on our keyway. Then we've got a retaining nut on the inside here, and then this is a grub screw that goes in the side to lock that retaining nut. So what I've done is I've used a bit of Loctite. So I've got to just Loctite it in there, make it nice and secure, so hopefully it stays nice and easy. Now we're pretty excited about these propellers. Well, we believe they're going to give us a heck of a lot more push. So they're really well machined. Alright, so I've sanded all these, taken all the shine off. The sanding does two main things. Number one, it cleans them up and takes a lot of the impurities out of them. And number two, it scratches it all up so that the primer can stick really well. So the type of anti-foul or fouling system that we're using on these is a thing called PropOne. And PropOne is a silicon-based anti-foul. One of the silicon-based anti-fouls that most of you guys would have heard about is PropSpeed. And PropOne is very similar. It's the same type of thing. It was just considerably cheaper, and they say it works better. So we'll see. Hopefully it does. Hopefully they're right. But what it does mean is if we do spend any time in a marina, which we don't plan to, but if we do, when you have a silicon-based anti-foul, it doesn't stop the growth from being on there. It just makes it very hard for it to stick. So we'll need to put the engines in gear every now and again to keep the props nice and clean. What I'm doing now is I'm just acid washing them just to make sure that there's no impurities or anything before I add the primer. The cleaner and better prep they are, the longer it will last. Some close to your eye.
Do I?
I'm going to scrub.
I've got anti-foul somewhere. You're done anti-fouling.
Yeah! Alright!
Alright, so anti-fouling's done. We're just pulling the tape right now while it's still a bit wet so we get a nice crisp line.
Oh.
It's coming out so well. I'm excited to see what this looks like on the red. are T-minus 2 hours till launch. Sam and Murray have been working on the anode, so Sam's just drilling the anode holes at the moment for our boxes and Murray's been fitting them. But let me show you guys what the anode boxes look like. So this side's done, so we've got the one down here, nice and flush, and then we've got the one at the bow up here, and this is sitting really nice and round. So these were actually 150 by 150. We've cut them in half and they fit really well in the boxes. And then we're drilling the holes. Yeah, final pieces are coming together and this is all so exciting. And we are tracking right on schedule. The anodes are all in, and what time is it? Cleanup time.
Cleanup time. 4 o'clock. I took it literally.
So it's cleanup time, so we've got to clean up all these boats, put everything on board, and get ready to splash. All right, guys, it is splash time. We're headed in the water. Okay, so right now what's happening is that high tide is at 5:14. It's 5 o'clock now, so we've just gone into the water. We're still on the trailer. Because we've cut holes in the boat in almost every single void, Sam has 15 minutes to sit on the trailer for a high tide to come up to the highest point. He's going to be checking the void so we can sit on the trailer for 15 minutes, make sure everything's okay, and then get off the trailer. So that's what's happening right now. So Murray and Sam are just running around the boat. Charlie is saying goodbye to a few of the kids, and she and I will be bringing the tender over to the boat once the boat's fully in the water. We are off. So Charlie and I are gonna bring the tender around and meet Sam, and then we're gonna go pick up a mooring.
Yeah. So you better chase.
Oh, Sam's blitzing it.
You can't see anything.
Oh, they're going so fast. Sam's taking the boat for a bit of a test spin, so we're gonna try to catch up. So we just dropped Murray off, we're back on board, the tender's all tied up. We're making our way down the creek. We're gonna go down the creek a bit. Sam and Murray had the hammers down a little bit just to see how well she does. She's turning on a dime. She's faster, much faster. Yeah, and the sterns are looking awesome. So hun, how do you feel?
Pretty good. Pretty gosh darn good.
How fast is she going?
Wow. It's uncontrolled. It's very windy and there's tide up here in Cairns, but we just took her for a quick blat. We maxed out at 2800 RPM. We went to 2400 RPM and was doing 10.5 knots. So yeah. We'll have to wait and see when it's a more controlled environment without wind and tide to do a proper one. But yeah. Easy nines.
We're back out on the water, Charlie. You taking care of Frank?
Thank you so much for watching.
Don't forget to click the like button and leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think of the new burgundy color scheme, and feel free to ask us any questions about our refit. A big thanks to our Patreons. Your support helps make these videos possible. And we will see you guys all next Saturday. Bye everyone.